Hello and welcome to the Boost Over Ball podcast, your go-to source for all things Rocket League, with your hosts, K-Cube, Quilly, and Red. So lean forward, lock in, and get ready to go Boost Over Ball.
You were about to mention before we hit record, what happened?
I am with a new organization. For those of you that have listened to previous episodes, I was previously on 100x35. I'm now with a new organization called ForceFed. They are primarily just a rematch, but they are looking to expand currently. But they have graciously made a fantastic offer to me and my team, and we are happy to support the ForceFed banner.
So you're fronting the BNB. Let's go.
I don't know about that one.
Every bill's going on Red's tab.
Okay.
Well, maybe.
All right.
We still don't even know where we're going. How do we not know where we're going?
I tweeted at them today, actually. I replied in one of their tweets.
It's Rocket League. Because it's Rocket League. It's what they do at this point.
I mean, they did announce Boston in a tweet with the Boston Scott. He goes, Boston. Mm-hmm. So maybe they'll do the same thing, but it feels bad.
We're actually downgrading. You're going to get a letter in the mail. It should be like, hey, by the way,
it's going to be like our PR packages when we get them a week before. You're like, hey guys, week before.
Also,
we're going to Dickies, by the way.
Yeah. Also, I was looking at this just because I was curious, right? And this is not part of the show. We're just riffing here, but the Paris Major is going to take place in a month. So May 20th to May 24th. Right? It is a month from yesterday it starts. And then our finals are September 15th to September 20th, which is almost 4 months later. Like 3 months and 3 weeks, or whatever. I know that we have the 1v1 circuit. Whoa.
God, I forgot that was still a thing. I feel like I haven't heard anything about that.
Yeah. There's not even a Liquipedia page for the 1v1 or the 2v2 right now. But I also it's going to happen between Paris and Worlds. That's what they said, right? Both of those circuits are going to happen, and I believe they'll play the grand finals match at Worlds for both of them.
Mm-hmm.
So I still am not sure, but we got almost 4 months in between that stuff, and LCQ is July 24th to August 14th. Double elim Swiss into a Swiss stage, into a group stage, into a playoff.
Holy forehead, guys!
Whoa!
Like a little sidebar.
Has anyone looked at the LCQ page?
No. Let me pull it up real quick. Actually,
this is on my one monitor, and you guys can read it off my forehead. Just reflect it.
So each region goes through a similar open style format.
Yeah. So double elimination. Up to all matches are best of 3 up to the top 192 teams, and it's all best of 5. Top 32 advance to Swiss stage, and then we do. It's actually the same thing as normal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really just it's another regional essentially.
Yeah,
but without the top teams.
I'm confused as to where it's going to fit in.
Well, we have 4 months between Paris and Worlds.
Yeah.
Yeah, but where's it going to fit into Worlds?
What do you mean?
It's the same thing as
it's happening before Worlds. It's so right now in Liquipedia, it's slated to have the double elimination part of the LCQ starts July 24th to 25th. Swiss stage is the 26th. Group stage is the 31st, and then the playoffs for the LCQ is from August 1st to the 14th.
So the championships for this isn't happening at Worlds.
For LCQ now.
Oh, no. I I thought we were talking about twos. That's what I meant. I thought we were talking about twos.
There's no information on Liquipedia about the 1v1 or the 2v2 bracket. So
also fun little just website thing I noticed. If you click last chance qualifiers and click region 2, I guess they haven't fixed the CSS formatting for the website yet because it just breaks.
Nice.
Fun little note.
Hell yeah.
But talking about LCQ, we actually have some current Rocket League that we need to talk about.
Yeah.
Some wild results.
Oh. Yeah. So with that, hello and welcome back to the Boost Overball podcast. To listeners new and old, hello and welcome to the show. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Kyle, K-Cube in the top left. In the top right, we have the professional rematch player himself, Red. And in the bottom, we have an NRG jerseyed Quilly. How's it going, gents?
Never thought I'd see the day.
Good jersey. I've rocked on the stream, Gotta rep a winner. We're doing good today. I will say I am glowing orange right now. I feel like it's reflecting off of me.
It does.
You're just glowing personally.
Huge.
So
NRG's wins are huge.
Big for
the orange is taking over.
But on today's episode, we will be wrapping up Open number 6. We'll be taking on, we'll be talking about our top 16 teams for SAM, APAC, and EU before recapping the clinching scenarios for each of these regions. We'll then be going over the final results from SSA, OCE, MENA, and NA. We know who has won our Open 6. We now know who is going to be our teams at the Paris Major, and for the most part, we have a few teams that have already locked in their spot for the World Championships, which we will talk about as we go through. Are you guys ready to get started?
Let's do it.
Okay. First and foremost, we got SAM. And making our top 16 through Group A is Furia, BS Plus Competition, Notorious, Enosis Esports, Zero Esforzo FC2, Nova Drift, SSD, and Emerald. And through Group B, we have Banana, formerly Secret, MIBR, Dream Esports, Overlooked, Big Odes, Papu Team, No Plan B, and Zero's Garamiperos. So, for people keeping track, and my terrible Spanish aside, it's still Furia and MIBR's spot to lose. Furia and MIBR can clinch with a top 6. So if they make it through the upper bracket of groups, they're in. BS Plus Competition and Banana are eliminated with a second place or worse finish. So, any thoughts on our teams here? Do you expect anything different than what we've kind of seen?
Not at all. Unfortunately, fortunately for some SAM teams probably, but unfortunately, it's pretty cut and dry here. Furia, Team Secret, I mean, even if they don't go on and, get top 6, you still have a lot of help. You just got to show up realistically. If you're one of those two teams, we will be seeing Furia, and we will be seeing more importantly, we'll be seeing the Bull back on land in Paris. But it should most likely go the way we think it is, which is right now. I'm thinking MIBR, another regional win for this one.
Okay. Quilly, you got any thoughts?
I think Furia tunes up form and takes it.
So
nice and simple.
Agreed. And I was going to wait until after we talked about OCE to talk about this, but SAM currently on the chopping block. They do not have an LCQ spot based on major performances in Boston so far. So,
which wild.
My way too early question for because we haven't even seen the end of Open 6 for them. Do you expect them to perform any better than they did in Boston, in Paris?
I sure hope so. I think this MIBR team will definitely surprise some teams. I mean, Furia, I think honestly to me right now, Furia is the question mark because they're very inconsistent right now. Very inconsistent.
That's lately.
And so, I'd be curious to see the kind of boot camping that Furia goes under to kind of get themselves ready for international play again. But definitely, these teams are there. I would say you're guaranteed one spot, but that LCQ spot, it's a little scary because I mean, Oceania, they do. We'll get to Oceania, who they're sending here for Perry, but it's definitely doable. You can definitely take that spot back for LCQ, but you can't fall asleep like you did in Boston. That is for sure.
Agreed. Anything else you want to add, Quilly, before we move on to APAC?
No, it's just really sad to have like little to no expectation of them. I just mention it every week. They were once a highly sought after region, and now they're like now they're really digging back into that minor region thing, and it just kind of stinks.
Yeah, I mean, I still remember 2022 Worlds, right? I think that Furia Moist game was probably the actual grand finals. Incredible series, and we've had quite a bit of a fall from grace for Furia since then. But nevertheless, here we are.
AJ Binky would be sad today.
He very much.
He'd be sad to see the state of Sam.
AJ Binky and Jorby. But with that, over in APAC, our teams making the top 16 through Group A are Kinotrope Gaming, Godspeed, North Star, Inarizaki, Nagatomo Ninjas, 86, and Dream Station. And from Group B, we have TSM, 3 Rats, Bearclaw Gaming, the 3 Chuds, Jungle Juicers, RHHS, Bigger Dogs, and So we talk about it every time. We're here for the winner takes all. And that's what we have here for open number 6. The winner takes it between TSM and Kinotrope. Everyone else has been eliminated. So if one of these teams does not make the grand final, the other one, whoever outplaces the other, gets the spot.
Not every team's been eliminated. There still is technically
There's one. Yes, you're right.
There's one. Sorry. It is very slim, but they aren't mathematically eliminated.
Yeah.
There's North Star sitting at 20 points. Which is 6 points behind TSM, which is 10 points behind Kinotrope. But, we've seen some crazy stuff. But realistically, we will be seeing a Kinotrope TSM, hopefully grand final masterclass.
Yeah, and you are right. North Star is eliminated with a top 4 or worse, right? So they need to win and they need some help.
Top 4 or worse. Yikes.
They've done it before.
This is true.
Not win, but they've done it before.
Yes.
So, who you got here between TSM and Kinotrope? Who's going to Paris?
I gotta pick TSM. They've been there. They've done that. They've done it before. They had a rough, start to the regional with open number 4, but have really kind of locked things back in with open 5 and have been looking in prime for open 6. I got TSM winning in grands against Kinotrope. We'll say 4-2.
Okay, Quilly.
I'm gonna go Kinotrope. I think TSM got a little too comfortable dominating that first split. I think Kinotrope has established themselves as equal, or maybe just taking advantage of some slow play out of TSM as they're not being as dominant as usual. So I'm gonna give it 4-2 Kinotrope.
Okay. Well, the situation here for TSM is if they win, they clinch their Paris Major spot, they clinch their World spot. They don't have to worry about that anymore. They just have to perform on land. If Kinotrope is able to win and goes to Paris, they still have an opportunity, while not an amazing chance, but they still do, as currently Kinotrope trails TSM by 17 points. Yeah. So they need a win here to close the gap, probably by 6, and then realistically they need a top 8.
You would need the best APAC placement ever.
Yep. Which makes it a little bit difficult, but nevertheless, here we are. So moving across to EU, and this is the last of our group's regions that hasn't finished their open number 6, and making the top 16 through Group A are Team Vitality, Carmine Corps, Manchester City, Synergy, Wild, Calogeras, Novo Esports, and PCS Stride. And from Group B, we have Ninjas in Pajamas, GK, Gentlemates, Gritty Goose, Magnifico, Whip Esports, KDOP Corp, and GHT. Notably, we're missing Team BSK here, Era Esports from the last event. We're also missing Game Ward and so some interesting results here. Novo kind of coming back with a vengeance. Synergy finishes in that 3-1 spot. Man City only losing to Carmine, but notably again, Vitality back to the perfect 9-0. Quilly, what do you think about Vitality, and what do you think about this top 16 that we have running here for EU?
I mean, this has been Vitality's the Vitality of recent. They just dominate their Swiss, so it's nothing new. BSK is one of the more respectable teams that they were to beat, and Wild and Synergy as well. I mean, so it's not like they beat like top end teams, but it wasn't bottom of the barrel teams. It was that middle of the pack floater teams that they dominated. So it's about expected of them at this point. It just matters if they can capitalize and make it matter in Paris, because as we've seen, French teams in Paris or France don't go well together. You know, winning on home soil it seems to be really hard. So just matters if they can translate this when it matters most.
For sure. Red, do you have anything you wanna add to that?
Yeah, this is gonna be an interesting one. Obviously, it feels kind of weird to see a team like GK where, they're only 7 points behind the 5 seed for EU, but it really feels like there isn't a lot of hope for this team. You that 7 points, especially with how these open splits, how much they're worth nowadays. Like you're hoping for a Man City crash out. You're hoping Man City don't even make it to playoffs. Top 8. Which GK, they did look great, getting a pretty big win against KDOP Core during the Swiss stage, and then handling Whip Esports with ease 3-0. So glad to see that they still got some fire left in them, as they're probably going to try to make a push for LCQ for Worlds. However, it's there's still a lot of question marks raised about that roster. Do they make a change going into the LCQ, because they're most likely not making it to Paris? Man City, I'm excited to see at Paris for their first LAN. I think it's a very exciting roster. Barring any crazy results, they are most likely going to be at least the EU 5 seed for Paris. But otherwise, EU just being EU, EU doing normal things.
Do you see? So this is we're kind of in the realm of Quilly questions here. If they don't make the Paris Major off of merit, if they have to go LCQ, do they bring back Itachi?
Wait. Bring back Itachi?
You retired Itachi?
Yes.
Why would GK bring back
because it's Itachi?
No. You mean like bring him back to
bring
play?
Him back to play for LCQ? Yeah.
Oh, no.
Not to the org. I'm sorry.
No, because isn't Itachi essentially like the coach for Mates at this point?
No, he's just a social media guy.
Yeah, I don't think he'll come back as a player.
Yeah, I think he's unfortunately sat comfy in his gig. He gets to sit in a suit on the main stage and hang out.
He's got a pretty good gig. You know who I could see happening though? Maybe I could see someone like a
Bibaba. Give me Bibaba.
Anyone from this Novo roster, Yuk, Rezi, Nico, give me Raziers, even Tox. Like there are so many good, I think, players that you could kind of cherry pick from a roster if you're GK. Who do you get rid of though?
Tempo. Abject, probably, but it seems like it's not going to happen.
Do you get rid of Tempo though? I mean, you've barely given you gave the kid 3 opens to try to learn a new roster. But has he necessarily been the underperformer for this roster currently?
No, I think it's Abject.
I also agree.
I think would love to see if they bring in like a day shift.
A day shift could be interesting as well. Like I could see GK just kind of scrap the whole project and go with Joyo and have him build like a young gun squad, get a bunch of the new guard in and start to just try to develop them. I could definitely see something like that. But I feel like we could see some. there is a good chance I think we could see some change before Worlds.
You know who I think they could snipe? Who hasn't been getting any love this season? Eugen. I think Eugen's just been sitting.
Who does he play
Wait.
for now?
Magnifico.
Magnifico. I will say that Magnifico roster actually didn't do too bad this regional.
Do you think they messed up their names when calming? Atomic and Achronic.
Yeah, Atomic Achronic. Good lord.
Well, Armonic needs to coach that roster.
And then they need to pick up NA Atomic.
Yeah, NA Atomic. Oh god.
Or Chronic.
Oh no.
Or Astromic.
Oh shit. No.
But seriously, I could definitely see like a Eugen or anyone from that Gritty Goose roster. A roster I think we see stick together going into LCQ, especially KDOP Corp. This Radosin Alpha Mitzer roster looks like when they are on, as we've seen, they look incredibly good.
They didn't do that.
They're still not out of it yet.
They didn't do that good. They didn't do that good in the Swiss.
They didn't do that good in the Swiss last time either. They didn't look that good in group stage last tourney, and then they went on to beat Vitality in playoffs.
They 3-1 or 3-0 last Open.
Let me check. KDOP Court. They 3-1. They went to 5 with PCS Stride and 4 with Toad in the Hole.
To be fair, KDOP dropped in 4 to Mates, who was in round 4 for some reason.
Fair. You know who they dropped? Who their loss was in Open 5 in Swiss? Mates in round 2. So, as long as KDOP Court don't face Mates, they'll be fine. Apparently.
Well, it's just because Mates haven't kicked Radosin yet.
Oh, there it is.
If you've kicked Radosin, you're going to lose. He's going to beat you when it matters most.
Has Radosin has been on KDOP or Karmine Corps either, no. Right?
Yeah.
So that's how he beats teams. He's gonna join them.
What does he have? Nip, Vitality, Mates. Was he on Mates?
No,
he was on Mates.
So it's just Nip and Vitality.
Yeah, just Nip and Vitality.
Yeah.
He's got to collect the team rings so he can beat them.
I can also realistically see someone picking up Radosin for LCQ. We were very critical about it.
Oh yeah,
for NIP, and they looked amazing when they picked him up.
Like I could see, I don't know. I honestly think I see this team stay together and for Worlds, unless someone comes in with a bag.
Radosin was on Mates 2025.
Was he?
He went to the Birmingham Major. Or he performed. He was on it for the Birmingham Major, and they won LCQ on NIP. He got cut and then won LCQ on NIP.
You're right.
Oh yeah, that is correct. Okay, I remember now. Yep. Wow, that was I had to dust off the archives for that one.
Elite ball knowledge right there.
Oh yeah. But for this event, Vitality clinches with the top 6 or better. Mates, Karmine Corps, and NIP clinch with a top 4 or better. Man City clinches with a top 2 or better. KDOP Corp clinches with a win. And then on the flip side of that, we have Synergy, Whip Esports, and Gritty Goose are eliminated with a top 4 or worse. Caligaris, GK, GHT, PCS Stride, Novo, Magnifico, and Wild are eliminated with a 2nd place or worse finish. So, GK needs a win and some help to even have a chance here, but that seems unlikely. I think of the scenarios that we have, I think that the most likely scenario coming true is that KDOP Corp wins and clinches. Not likely, but I think of the weird ones, that's the most likely one happening.
That's the most probable, but it's most probable being like a 5% chance of happening.
That's like the Gen GK run. Like that's what
Gen
this
GK
is.
run. Yeah, please, if we get another Gen GK run, oh my god, cinema.
Especially with a name like KDOP Corp.
Oh, dude, it'd be so good. Or I will say, what's interesting about this team is it is easily the fan favorite when they're playing. When they're on stream, everyone is cheering for KDOP Corp. So it could happen. It could happen.
Coolly, if we're giving percentages to K-Dop Corp winning the event, what percentage are you giving it?
Negative.
Damn.
All right. Well then.
I love the run. I do root for them when they're playing, but
Red said 5.
That's like not even like a 0.3%.
Negative.
He's saying not possible.
It is quite not possible. I think maybe if they had Zen, maybe they'd be a world's contending team. Honestly, I think possibly sweep all majors together and maybe worlds. But I don't know. Maybe without that's just like without the Zen. This hypothetical where they have Zen as their teammate. I think that's where it's possible. I don't know. Something's telling me. But without him, no, they're not winning a regional. There's too many top dogs to get past.
Okay, fair enough. But also, we will have to give a shout out here. Gentlemates and Carmine Corps have solidified their world spot, and they have clinched their world spot. So, congratulations to them from EU. We'll get to the other ones as we continue on. But anything else you want to talk about for EU before we start to talk about our regions that have finished their open number 6? Okay. So from there, we'll move over to SSA. Our teams making the top 8 through the upper bracket. We have Five Fears, BTF Esports, Pioneers, and Rounds. And through the lower bracket, we have Synthesis, Team HSK, Le Passion, and Death Cloud Esports. Moving into our top 4, we have Rounds getting swept by BTF Esports, and we have Five Fears taking down Pioneers in 7. And in the grand finals, Five Fears are able to take down BTF in a gentleman's sweep 4-1. Five Fears sweeps the split, clinches their Paris major spot and their world spot, all with that win. So congratulations to Five Fears and Co. What are your thoughts on that? Are you surprised by the results at all?
I mean, off the start of this season, I think everyone's expecting Pioneers to be the top dogs with To Die For, Sweaty, and Louis. How do you pronounce it? Is it Louis P or Louis P?
Louis P is always what I've said, but
yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Louis P.
But I mean, realistically, Snowy and Guns with Tech Odds being on the other team, these two teams are just destined to be the top dogs, and Pioneers have not been holding up their end of the bargain. It has been 5 years the whole way. I think they've won 5 out of the 6 opens.
They didn't win was open number 1.
Yeah, and we're like, all right, Pioneers, Lawler, they got this, and then they just took it and ran. So it definitely seemed like it was going to be a 2-horse race between them, but time after time, I'm pretty sure most of their grand finals results were sweeps too over Pioneers, or if not that, 4-1s, nothing relatively close, maybe here or there. But yeah, it's just been utter domination from this 5 years team, just like as we mentioned, their social media team who's dominating the game. So if there's any team we'd like to see coming out of it, would first be Harmonic, and then whoever else. Now it's 5 years. It's just gonna be that top dog.
Fair. Well, this one was pretty straightforward. This is kind of what we expected after you mentioned, they swept through the split. And after, I think, Lawler's rant on Twitter, I think it was really over when he said, I can't believe we lost to this terrible team again. And yeah, I think it was pretty shocked.
Wild that happened.
Yeah, But moving across over to OCE, our teams making the top 8 through the upper bracket are Wildcard, Power, Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs, and No Car Esports. And through the lower bracket, we have Daddies, The Beast from Beyond, Team Abyssal, and Take Flight. Moving into the top 4, we have Power taking down the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs 4-3, and we have Wildcard taking down No Car Esports 4-1. And in the grand finals, we have Wildcard coming out on top in 6, defeating Power 4-2. This is a huge win for Wildcard as they clinch their Paris major spot. And our world scenario for this region, since Wildcard beat Power in the grand finals, Wildcard need a top 12 or better in Paris to take that world spot from Power, and a top 16 forces a Power Wildcard tiebreaker. So at worst, we have a tiebreaker. in terms of like looking for more matches. But if Power are able to make it out of their group in Paris, then they will take the world spot. However, it seems interesting to me because the better that Wildcard does, the more likely it is that OCE gets an LCQ team.
Mhm.
However, for Power, you probably want them to not do well.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword. Power sitting there like it's you want all or nothing. Power either want Wildcard to just absolutely get dumpstered on and not do well at all, so that their spot is secure for Worlds, or if Wildcard do well, they need to do it so well that Power get that extra spot at that LCQ spot for Worlds. So it's a all or nothing. Ain't no half-ass in here for the Oceania region. So will be very interesting to see. Sad we won't be able to see friend of the host, our friend of the show, Mr. Fiber. He will be missed for this LAN, but that is okay. We will hopefully be seeing the lad at Worlds and to be determined
potentially
location.
Also EWC, maybe, I don't know. I think it depends.
We'll see.
Yeah.
But what I loved how close it was in Oceania. It whether or not that's a good thing is to be determined. Because that can mean two things: is that the competition's very close. Now, close to what level is going to be the question. Also, Quilly flashbang.
That just shows me blind.
But Wildcard, good to see them back on LAN. We'll see if they can try to relive their previous World Championship run glory days.
Agreed. Quilly, anything you want to add about OCE?
No, it's just obviously, as we mentioned, we love Power. So and AKA Fiber, he's just the GOAT. He's just such a cool dude. So seeing him not there is gonna suck, but being Wildcard is honorary French, I guess that's also cool for France since they've been knighted. So we'll see if the French crowd continues to root for them like they did last time, as they were the Cinderella story that almost was. We'll see if they can relight that flame and see how deep they can make it through this with the new group format and with the 3 teams making it through. You don't have to be the best of 2. You just got to be the best, better than 1.
You can't be the worst.
Yeah. That's all it is. So they got a much better chance, much better fighting chance, which would have been cool to see Power get the same opportunity, but beggars can't be choosers. And Wildcard, though they're not Power, still a cool Aussie team that it's always fun to root for them from down under.
Agreed. Now I think now we're kind of getting into some of the some of the calamity that happened. And that is with MENA. So our teams making the top 8 through the upper bracket are R8 Esports, Stallions, Team Falcons, and DOS. Notice I did not say Twisted Minds, because through the lower bracket we have Twisted Minds, Nothing, Everything, and Rafa Esports. Moving into our top 4, Twisted Minds are able to sweep Nothing, take down Stallions 4-1, to set up a semi-final matchup between Twisted Minds and Team Falcons, in which Twisted Minds are able to take that in 7. And on the other side of our bracket, we have R8 Esports taking down Rafa Esports in 6, 4-2. And in our grand finals, Twisted Minds are able to complete the event, the lower bracket run, and beat R8 Esports in 6, winning that series 4-2 to become your Open 6 champions. So, what is a Twisted Minds? One of the most inconsistent things I've seen. They get swept by DOS and looked not amazing, and then they come back and they're able to beat Falcons. They were peaking on Falcons in times. There's only one overtime game in that series. It could have been 6. They could have done it in 6. So I mean, man, what are your thoughts, and how are we feeling about Falcons not being in Paris?
It's weird. It is Like, there's no other really good way to put it other than weird. This is a roster who probably, like, I could say with a pretty high confidence rate that this is probably the highest paid roster in Rocket League currently, and to not make a major is insane. I mean, you have at the time when he was signed, arguably one of the best players in Europe and one of the greatest duos in MENA. And so you think, oh, you put these guys together and it should be perfect. But obviously something is not clicking for this Falcons team. They are not to the pedigree we are used to. Twisted Minds, props to them for being able to hold on. That series was an absolute banger. It literally went back and forth. There was no run. It was, my Twisted Minds winning game 1, Falcons winning game 2, Twisted Minds winning game 3, Falcons 4, Minds 5, Falcons 6, and then Twisted in game 7. And props to them for being able to stave off the Falcons, and R8 doing what they need to, just showing up and getting the job done, winning the games they need to. Not winning grands there kind of sucks, but at the end of the day, it didn't really matter too much for you. You were going to Paris no matter what. But I mean, this Falcons roster, there's so many questions. Realistically, barring one of the best runs by a MENA team since Falcons, shocker, Falcons will still be in Worlds, but we will see R8 as an LCQ team, almost guaranteed. They will most likely be the number 3 seed and take the LCQ spot. I do not see any other team taking it out from away from them, barring a miracle run by a Stallions roster. Most likely would be probably your next best bet. But I'm excited to see this new R8 team on LAN to see how they do, as I believe it's majority of their first. I think, is it all of their first LANs?
No.
No,
Abdullah and Ghazi
they have MC. Yeah, okay. So these are
from LCQ, but first non-LCQ LAN.
First non-LCQ LAN. So very excited to see them compete. We got Oof in the chat as well saying that he's got them predicted to make a top 8, which doable. I could see it. It depends on the group, for sure. But we'll have to see. I mean, MENA, they're pretty much locked in for an LCQ spot at this point in time. Currently sitting at second with 9 points. Just behind EU at 12.5, and then ahead of NA at 8. So there's realistically no way they lose a LCQ spot. So that's huge for R8. They'll be able to go from Paris right into Worlds there and just get ready for that grind session there. But props to R8 and Twisted for getting the job done, and we'll be excited to see how they compete in Paris.
Not so fast. So Twisted Minds has clinched their world spot. Congratulations to them. R8 currently trails Falcons by 21 points for the last world spot in MENA. They need a top 2 to displace Falcons out of their spot and clinch a world championship berth.
I'm gonna take some words from my good friend Quilly. They have a -% chance to do that.
Wildcard made a top 6.
Yes, that was it.
Yeah.
They would need, I will say, I will give it's not -%, but they will need the Mickey Mouse bracket of dreams, in my opinion.
One might say a 2022 G2 run to the grand finals level bracket.
Oh yeah, that might do it. It'd be close.
Sorry, I didn't mean to do that, but that's kind of what it's looking like. But
let's see here.
Quilly, do you think they have a negative chance to make a top 2 R8 at Paris? Do you think if they make a top 2, they get the last world spot?
Another negative chance.
Yep. I kind of figured. I mean, it's less than 1%.
Yeah, it's brutal out here. It's I mean, it would be sick. How insane would that be, that run? I don't think the French crowd would hate it, and that would make it even better.
This is true.
Imagine they just win the whole thing. They just beat Carmine Corp in grand finals.
That's assuming we got Carmine Core in grands.
Yes.
I would put Vitality in grands over Carmine Core at the moment, or even mates.
That's kind of that was my my thinking is which one would hurt them the most.
Fair. Which one would hurt the populace of Perry the most? Yeah, that would do it. No, honestly, I it would probably be like a Carmine Core of Vitality losing to like First Killer. That would probably hurt the most. Them losing to Shopify Rebellion and Grands in Perry. I think that would
that's not happening.
That would
That would mean FK1 will land.
Well, correct. But that's why I'm saying it would do the most damage. That's like got to be the highest amount of psychological damage that could be done to a crowd.
I definitely feel like the most psychological damage would be a Shopify NRG final.
Yeah, that would be up there.
You know what really would be SSG versus what?
No, screw that. It's actually R8 Twisted.
I'm trying to think of like what would be the most obscure thing that would piss them off. You know what? Give us Pioneers versus give us Pioneers.
They can't even make it.
Yes,
5 years.
That's what I meant. 5 years versus Kinotrope. Give us 5 years Kinotrope Grand Finals.
Oh my god!
The freaking single A up there playing on the big stage.
Did an asteroid hit the stadium? Like what?
That's the kind of event that the feed goes dark, and they're like, there is no major in Paris.
Nothing happened. This is all a lie.
But here we are. Is there anything else that you guys want to touch on MENA before we move over to our last region, that is North America?
It's time.
Okay. We'll run through the results and then we'll kind of talk everything through, just like the rest of the regions. So our teams making the top 8 through the upper bracket, we have Shopify Rebellion, Foot, Space Station Gaming, and Virtus Pro. And through the lower bracket, we have Dignitas, Gen G 1, and NRG. NRG doing a Twisted Minds and making a run from the lower bracket, sweeping 1, taking down Virtus Pro in 6. And then in our top 4, we have Space Station Gaming sweeping Foot, and we have NRG taking down Shopify in 7. And in our grand finals, a rematch of Open number 4, we have NRG prevailing this time in a gentleman's sweep, winning 4-1. So, Red, what are your thoughts? What did you think of NRG's run? And how in the hell did they pull off a number 1 seed in NA heading into Paris?
I told you Sathi was cooking. That boy was behind the scenes putting the work. And let me tell you, he put in the work. Also, I just gotta say, the best player on that team right now is Atomic, hands down.
Oh, I don't think it's
watching
close.
him play this split, it is not close. He is doing LeBron James level performance out there right now. I mean, he has shored up every part of his game, and it is amazing to watch. Like, he's not doing anything crazy flashy, but like, he's not making mistakes. You just don't see him make a mistake.
It's a smart man.
Very smart individual. But I mean, a little worried for NRG, right? You lose in game 5 in a heartbreaking fashion of another OT, which I don't know if you guys saw the tweet about all the records NRG broke during that split. I'll try to find it here while I'm talking, but they like OTs apparently, like a lot,
a lot.
A lot. I think it was D-Rec that posted it.
Also, yeah, he did.
Yeah, here it is. Found it.
But also, Atomic. You mentioned Atomic. Atomic with a 436 average score per game, 67 saves, 61 demos, 29 assists, 20 goals, and a 7.3 blast rating. So he was indeed cooking, and he had himself a fantastic series.
So I found the tweet here. We'll go ahead and read off just some of these records that were broken. So these are some pretty, like, a little niche, but also just insane records to be breaking, and also kind of funny for who previously held one of them. But during that Open number 6, the NRG trio of Daniel, Beast Mode, and Atomic now hold these records currently. They hold the longest BO5 ever, which was the series against Foot, which lasted 41 minutes and 51 seconds. 41 minutes and 51 seconds. Which, here's the funny note. You know who the next record was the record for most OT time in a single regional, which was 44 minutes and 24 seconds. You know who previously held that record? The very close friends of theirs, actually. The former G2 roster of Chicago, Rizzo, and JNaps with 41 minutes and 53 seconds in RLCSX Spring. So kind of wild that this like NRG2 rosters love their OTs, but otherwise they also had the third longest OT on LAN, which was
on
I forget. Oh, sorry. This is just like these are just accolades that they have so far. Third longest OT on LAN, which is 10 minutes and 60 seconds, which is also insane. They also have the first, second, and third longest BO7s ever, which is 51 minutes 39 seconds, 49 minutes 55 seconds, and 47 minutes and 26 seconds. So these guys just love to play the game. Apparently, I don't.
When they're not playing Rust.
When they're not playing Rust, I am a little worried about the finishing of this roster. As we kind of saw, they do struggle to close out series sometimes. With Foot, with Shopify, right? You had leads and then lose them and aren't able to close out, but they did figure it out. So I can't complain too much there. The Shopify series was cinema. Absolute fantastic series to watch, including the 11-minute OT, which was diabolical. It wasn't that everyone was playing defense. It was everything. Everyone was going a million miles an hour, and just there was no goals being scored. It was insane to watch. Also, the series against Virtus Pro, I low-key felt bad for Virtus Pro. I don't know if you guys saw the final goal of that series was a Talk own goal. And but by own goal, it's air quotes own goal. It was one of those where the ball rolls in front of you as you're mid-flip, and there is nothing you can do except watch your car slowly flip into the ball and hit it into the back of your net. Terrible way for the Foot roster to kind of end their split, but hey, Energy did what they needed to get done, especially handling at the time, electric and on fire SSG roster, which I'll let Quilly talk a bit about them, because going into Sunday, they were at a plus 26 goal differential, which is absurd going into Sunday.
Yeah, I think the Reveal was leading in goals with 13 and only had played 7 total games that whole time, which was like 2 series at that point, and they were sweeps, if not one loss. So going on beyond way less games than everyone, Reveal was dominating in the scoring department. So yeah, SSG was on one hell of a run up until they weren't. NRG just like decided to remember who they were or something in the grand finals and just completely dominate. But yeah, SSG looked great. Again, we're hoping we get the same team in regionals that we do on LAN, because all 3 of our top teams are looking insane. Foot can even be included.
It's like Foot can be included in there. Foot.
I wouldn't say they look insane, but they know how to play NRG, which is pretty awesome, which is pretty good.
So before we continue on, our the Paris major teams that are locked in so far: NRG, Space Station Gaming, Shopify Rebellion, and Foot. We have Twisted Minds in R8. We have Wildcard, and we have Five Fears. So we're still waiting on APAC, SAM, and EU. But congratulations to NRG, Space Station, Shop, and Foot. Foot, who does make that Paris major spot. So continue. Sorry.
So some crazy things to note. NRG pull off the worst the first run. Because they win this regional, they tied on points with Shopify for the split. And since they won the most recent split regional, they take the tiebreaker over Shopify, which I think I forgot that was the rule, but that's kind of crazy. That they go from 4th and like, it was like,
give me a best of 1 tiebreaker.
Not the
best of 1 full chaos.
Oh God! Ew. Speaking of chaos, are we going to talk about the coach putting on the boots? Coach Matthew hitting the pitch. He officially gets his first. It was like his first place on his Liquipedia results page because he played actually. That was kind of wild. I was very confused when I watched that series. I saw.
RLCS Open champion the tag?
Yeah, he played, so he would.
Yeah. He probably has to get part of the prize pool now too.
Does he not get it for being a coach of the team?
Wait, I think he probably
I think he does, but he gets it as a player.
But he can say, "I got this as a player."
It should be different colors. The players should get a certain color, and the coaches should get another.
Oh, yeah, it's like, be careful about talking about the titles and colors. Epic might shadow ban you.
Yeah, probably. He did
But,
play really well. Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm assuming something came up with beast mode and not being able to be there on time, but didn't do too bad. It was like an OT game. It wasn't OT. It was either OT or like very close, like 1-goal game or something.
Because he just played for the one game against Dignitas, right?
Yes, it was just
they lost in OT. 15 seconds into OT, they lost 1-0. So
defensive masterclass. But no, seriously, like this is. I hate to feel like I feel like I've said this before and it didn't work out so well last time I said this, but I'm going to say it again. All 4 NA seeds look good. They look good going into a major. Last time I said this, only one NA team made playoffs.
Yeah.
But they all look good. They all look good. From top to bottom, they all look good. So I'm hoping NA have what it takes to show out. Seeding wise, you got Energy, the 1 seed, Shopify in the 2. All right, no, Shopify in 2? Yeah, Shopify in the 2, SSG in the 3, Foot in the 4. Now, that being said, the seeding may not help you. It may actually hurt you, as we saw with Boston. So stay tuned for when they announce the seeding for groups, because that can make or break a lot of things. Cough, cough, SSG group of death. So, Energy might get screwed or something and get put in the group of death for retribution for EU having it happen to them. But we shall see. Otherwise, NA, by far the most sensational of regions to watch. I guess one downside to talk about, Gen G. This Gen G roster, man. I mean,
Greg gotta go. I think Greg gotta go.
I think you just gotta blow up the whole roster. Genuinely, I don't think that roster works. Which is sad to say, but like, I don't even think it's down to coaching at this point. There is something fundamental with that team that is not gelling, and I mean, you lose, like, not to take away from Dignitas's win. Dignitas looked like a fantastic team to go into LCQ and to try to fight for the LCQ spot, along with Gen G, or I'd even throw like a next to new in there for that LCQ spot. But it will probably end up being Foot, barring them doing sensationally in Boston.
So speaking of that, Foot currently trails Virtus Pro for the last world spot by 14 points. A top 4 secures Foot a world spot. And only a top 4. If they finish top 6, they will not make it. They'll be 2 points shy.
Probably not happening for Foot. I don't see that roster making a top 4, but it could happen. But realistically, they look like a fantastic. Like if they do not make worlds, they look like, if they not make worlds via seeding, they will make it through LCQ. I don't see any of the other teams there really having a chance against them. But I mean, again, not to take away from Dig's 4-1 win over Gen G in lower bracket round 1, but this Gen G roster, man, like it's ugly. On another way to put it, it is ugly watching them play.
Yeah. But also, I just found it. I was looking for it. Sathy with 162 points, 3 shots, 1 save, 2 demos for a 5.1 blast rating. So good work from Coach Sathy there. But also, I mean, we talked about it last week, but I think we have to continue to talk about it, right? You got something, Cool?
No, I just put a food clip on my finger and it hurt.
Fair. That might be a pretty good episode title. I just put a food clip on my finger.
And it hurt. In parentheses. And it hurt.
Yeah. But, we questioned the double switch. We questioned forfeiting 17 RLCS points, which, by the way, would put you in a world spot right now. But, we weren't sure what the change would bring for Foot. But, again, like we did it last week, and I have to give a round of applause to whoever decided to make the double switch for Foot. They need a raise and all of the praise, because the fact that it's a top 4 from, they could have even just sat out the first split with the results that they've had, right? So, huge props to Foot and the decision-making process and the team that they've built. That Cheese Chronic Justin roster with Adam Baguette has things, they got them rolling. But
hopefully we get to see Justin on land in the big 2026. I know he technically made Worlds last year and they didn't make the actual event, so it's a little bit underwhelming, but hopefully we can see Justin on the big stage. I'm sure France would give him some love and still be nice to him. I think he's maybe our only hope of not getting booed as an NA team, just purely off aura. But I think, it'll be rather interesting. I just Paris can't come soon enough. Also, wherever Worlds' announcement can't come soon enough. Also, please.
No kidding. But with that, is there anything else that you guys wanted to talk about any of the opens that we, any of the Open 6 that we've talked about so far, or anything else RLCS related?
Nope.
Okay.
All good.
And then it is time for a Quilly question again. You got one in the chamber?
I do not have Pokemon lined up. I don't.
Wait.
I didn't play Pokemon again.
I was gonna. Yep. Okay.
So instead, I brought a game for you guys.
Okay.
I'm going to actually turn off notifications on my phone just in case anything crazy pops up, just in case. But we will be playing a game.
Oh, God.
Of Boost Over Ball's version of a Deal or No Deal.
Okay.
Oh, God.
There will be 3 rounds, and you guys will both be going against each other head to head. This is purely an objective base who wins. This is not an actual definitive winner for the record. But we're going to have to decide who's going to go first. But you guys will each pick one case, and you will be given a player. There will be 3 rounds. So you'll get 3 players by the end of this. I probably should have done a coach round, but we can do this later. But
it's a trial run for in between Paris and Worlds because we have 4 months.
Yes,
a long time to wait.
So you have 6. Can you flip this? No. All right, we're overthinking this now. You can use your brain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you have to pick one of the 6.
They're showing up perfectly on stream. Like you can see them like the right way. It's just backwards for you because it's your own camera. We're good.
So with that, you have only 1 pick, and you have 1 change through the entire game.
Okay.
And it comes at the end. So if you pick first and you want to change, you have to wait until the second person picks. And if you pick second, you have to wait until they choose to repick or not. Is this clocking? Are we clocking this?
Yep.
Yes.
All right, quick rock, paper, scissors, shoot to see who goes first.
Red can go first if he wants.
Better yet, I'm going to flip a coin.
Oh, okay.
And by flip a coin, I mean I'm going to flip a hand sanitizer. Heads is the spray hole, but tails is the bottom. K-Cube, your host, call it.
The spray nozzle.
Tails. Yeah.
He called heads, and it is tails. Red goes first. Red goes first. All right, Red. You get to pick any of these 6 cases.
Give me case number 4.
Case number 4. Behind case number 4. Oh, God.
Damn, that was the one I was going to pick.
It's a good thing you did it, because you got guns from SSA! Hooray! Hooray! Okay. All right, this leaves it to K-Cube, following it up.
I'll go 2.
Number 2. Oh, you get KV1.
Wow, okay. We're really...
Okay.
Huh.
Okay.
I can't tell you. Does anyone want to use their repick, or do you guys want to save it for later round?
I would love to use my repick at this point.
All right.
I'm saving mine.
All right. Let me jot down. All right. I'm not jotting down. Too much work. Remember who's on your team. I'm not doing.
Yep, I got it.
All right. You get to pick again. Don't pick number 2. Oh, yeah. Don't pick 2.
Okay. 5.
You have gotten Sphinx from APAC.
Okay, that's honestly not bad. I'll take it.
It is an improvement. No offense, guns. No offense. All right, moving on to round 2. All right, K-Cube, you are up first now.
Which number did you pick the last time? Red?
I picked 4 last time.
Okay. Well, you double picked 4?
No.
I
went 4, then 5.
Okay, I'm going 3 then.
You get Max you.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh my God.
You guys are sniping every bad pick I put in here.
All right, give me one.
What? Oh my God! You get Zen
Yeah.
Red.
Yes. Let's go.
I'm running.
Your repick.
I'm running my repick.
All right,
Okay.
repick.
Whew, I'm so glad
One
I
is
stuck
done.
Zen out.
Zen is off the board.
Give me
Who would you
6.
like to-
Give me 6.
Oh God damn you! You get 5 up.
It's not terrible. Not terrible.
Okay.
All right, we're in set 3. Do you have Red's team on the? You have that Red's team right
Yeah.
down?
Red's got Sphinx and Zen, and I got KV1 and 5 up.
All right. This is where we make or break. Set number 3. Red, you are up first. Take us away.
4.
4,
Back to
you
the well.
get Eugen.
Ooh, honestly, I like it. I got 2 French players.
I'm going back. I'm going to 1. He sniped Zen with 1 last time. I'm going to 1. Oh
Uh-oh.
no.
Uh-oh.
Let's get
The dream team. What do you have? Sphinx.
it. KV1 and 5 up.
KV1 5.
5 up and Banana Head.
Oh my.
I'm actually okay with it. I'm okay with a banana head there.
Oh my
You're going
God.
against 10. Are you sure about it?
I have Zen and Eugen. And then Sphinx. That boy Sphinx is going to be out there with a camera on his shoulder just looking around.
Dude, guys, you have no idea. The first round, I set it up perfectly for you guys. There was 3 bad players and 3 great players, and you managed to get all 3 bad players. You guys got Gun, Sphinx, and KV1. The other 3 options at the number 1 spot was Vatira, and number 3 was Daniel, and number 6 was Nobu.
Oh,
Good
jeez.
lord.
And then
You're
in the,
the
set, the
greatest.
second set, you guys missed out on Lost, To Die For, and First Killer in parentheses on Saturday.
The hypothetical first killer.
Had to make sure before if someone picked First Killer, I'm like, oh, if it's Sunday, I'm screwed. I was waiting for it. I had to make sure it's parenthesized.
I'm actually not
And then
mad at my team though.
Set number 3, what you guys missed out on Edgeby, Frosty, Abdullah, and Kaka.
We did good set 3. We did good set 3.
Yeah, I do think objectively, I do think Fred won this purely based off of having Zen on.
Hold on. Here's the question: is this pre or post easy anti cheat?
We can't be dealing with hypotheticals. What are we doing here? We don't know what happens post
The
anti-cheat.
full random banana head car goes hard, and you know it.
It's not beating Zen and Eugen.
It's beating Eugen.
What do you mean? It beat Joya that one time.
I take banana head over Eugen. Like, and I'm not like not for the bit.
I can. Individually, sure. In a team format,
I feel like it'd be the opposite.
I'm saying I have the
I feel
better
like it'd be
second
the
man,
opposite.
and I'm not putting anyone up against Zen.
I feel like Eugen's
Okay.
better individually, but
I
worse
feel
on
like
the team.
Zen just uses like 50% of his power, and I think I just win.
Like if we're ranking the players that we've picked, it's Zen at 1. It's I would say Banana Head maybe 2, but very close behind Eugen. Then 5 up KV1, then Sphinx.
Can we rate Banana Head as high as we are when like they just snuck into Paris?
Is Eugen going to Paris?
I mean, no, but like
Magnifico. I'm not going to Paris.
he also got stuck in contract hell, if I remember correctly, for a bit.
Yeah, I don't know. That's
That was the first trial run of the game.
We
we were terrible at that. Let's go.
Yeah, don't listen to us, guys. If we ever give you gambling advice, don't listen to us unless it's me and
Unless we're in person.
Unless Prize Picks is giving the odds, not Quilly with cases.
We'll see if we can get some animated versions of that. Like I'm sure there's got to be like a make your own like online. version.
There absolutely is some make your we can find something.
I didn't. I you guys like picked, and I just have to like look at my list.
Cross.
That was a good one. That was a good one. But so what about a Pacopia update? How's the Pacopia doing?
We have me and my buddy Mark. We started a world together. I can't even update on like how many Pokemon we found. The game's confusing beyond belief. Also, we do have a Poke Center built. We got 2 little homes. I'm in the process of trying to build this giant ass orange house that I found. It's like an orange kit house. It's huge. You have to get brick, which turns out it's impossible to find in the shared world. So I don't know what the move is there. We're in a full on state of panic and confusion. So nothing crazy. I've spent most of my time watching WrestleMania. I turned on my Switch at Pokopia and I just sat here and stared at the screen.
Fair. But good Quilly questions / game show. Anything else that you guys want to add before we wrap up for today?
All good.
Awesome. Well, that's a wrap for today. Huge shout out to Alyssa B and all of our other Patreon supporters for keeping the lights on. For those watching live on Twitch, thank you for all the follows. Thank you for the subs. Thank you for listening later. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, share our show, tell a friend, help us level up the show and increase our audience. Want to join our community? Jump into our Discord or follow us on social media. Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky, TikTok, LinkedIn. If you want to rep the show, come grab some gear from our merch store. All of these links and more can be found on our website at boostoverball.com. Thank you for listening, and as always, remember to choose Boost over Ball. See ya!
Thank you for listening to the Boost Over Ball podcast. Make sure to check out our website, boostoverball.com.